Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors. First rendition, if you will, of the new year. This is going to be a little bit of a kayaking type deal, but we're going to cook a little lunch on a Dakota or a Lakota fire pit. Got the idea on the way out there. We wanted to check it out. Before we get too far into the video, 22 veterans a day in this country take their own lives. Vets, I love you. You have a place here. We back to blue over here. We support Leo. How do you do that, SCAB? Well, we don't break the damn law as best we can. And then finally, if you're an addict, never quit quitting. So we were out on Black Creek, which feeds into Doctor's Inlet, which feeds into the St. Johns River. Now, off of Black Creek, there are a lot of little tributaries and things like that. Now, we were out in Jennings State Forest. It is absolutely one of my favorite places to go kayaking. We've got a kayaking video coming up probably sometime this afternoon, or if not tomorrow, where we just out and you'll get to see a little more. This was a little creek off the creek, knee deep at best, well, probably waist deep at best, knee deep in most places. And you can kind of see that reddish brown tannic acid look of the water. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And the water was pretty chilly. We decided to put in and make a little lunch. Now, on the way out, I was thinking about it and I thought, this is a state forest. You are allowed to have a fire. Let me say that up front. However, I didn't want to build some kind of raging forest fire to cook a couple of hot dogs on. So I started looking around and come across a couple videos of the Dakota fire pit. Now, let me say this up front. I'm not an expert. Y'all know that probably from the first 30 seconds of this video. All of this stuff is brand new to me. Now, I'm using a shovel. I'm going to put a link in the description to that shovel so you can look at it. It's a survival shovel. I was going to do its own review on it, but I'm going to tell you something, guys, and be real honest with you, it ain't worth doing. Now, here's the deal. It was only $35, so I can't complain, and I'm not going to complain. At shoveling, masterful job. As being a hoe, masterful job. But it's billed as a survival shovel with an axe and a saw and a knife, and none of that's worth a shit. Let me go ahead and tell you that. But you can move it around. I like the versatility of it as far as making it into a hoe. It is very heavy, but it can break down. So I'll show it to you a little better, but as far as a full review, I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's worth the time, mine or yours, to do. Now, I will say this. With a Dakota fire pit, you dig a hole about a 10-inch diameter, maybe 8 inches to a foot deep, and then you dig a smaller hole beside it, and you tunnel one to the other. Having that shelf in there is important, and you elongate, your smaller hole, and that's to feed it oxygen. The Dakota fire pit, really, truly, honestly, is made for more like escape and evasion, if you want to keep a low footprint, etc., or cooking. It's really good to cook on. Now, my thing with doing it, I'm like, I don't want to have a big fire out here, 1. I don't want to leave a big footprint, 2. And 3, I want something that I know when I walk away from, it is completely out. Now, some people are going to bring up or mention a root fire. In Northeast Florida, the odds of that are almost nil, guys. We did make sure when we left there that it was saturated, it was out. I cut all roots, removed as many roots as I could. I did start the fire with a ferrocenium rod, a ferro rod. I was pretty proud of that, honestly. But in full disclosure, I've got to work on going from an ignition source to like tinder or whatever. I've got to work on my fire building skills. Now, I took about 5 or 6 charcoal briquettes with me because, again, I've got a couple books coming in now on certain on eastern woodland plants and trees and things like that. And I'm like, you know what? I know I can cook over oak, but just to hedge my bet, I'm going to take me some charcoal briquettes. And again, guys, part of this is a learning experience. I'm going to take in things and I'm going to carry things that hedge the bet in my way. But I do mention it. I do bring them up. I'm not trying to do anything, you know, off the radar. Now, this is Megatron. She's using her Mora. She sharpened us up some weenie roasting sticks. And right here, now, that was our fire. I'm really, really happy with my fire. Why? It's easy to do things at home. It's easy to do things in a controlled environment. It's easy to start a fire with a ferro rod at the house. I wanted to get out. Now, we do have a little better footage of the bluff we were on. There were some major personal goals that I accomplished on this trip that wouldn't mean a lot to a lot of people, honestly, but it meant the world to me. Made Megan very happy. And honestly, Errol SCAB looking good, roasting some weenies. Honestly, the more we do, the better we'll get. I was incredibly impressed with the fire pit. I really, really was. It worked very well. I was also kind of taken back with how much heat just this small pit put off. It didn't take a lot of fuel. It really didn't. We gathered up, I don't know, Megatron gathered up sticks for maybe 5 minutes, got them all set to go. We kind of tag teamed this pit, and it worked out really, really, really well. Had a great time. This is going to be part of our series. Now, we used the GoPro for filming this. We got a shoulder mount. That's what you're looking at here, the POV. Megatron was good enough to be the camera person for this. And we got a kayak mount. And I'm excited to show y'all some different stuff. Now, the other thing I like about the fire pit is it was very easy to cover up, leave, you know, I really have no desire to go out there and have a bonfire and then have that kind of mess or leave that kind of mess for somebody else. So this was easy to cover up, and we had a lot of fun. And honestly, guys, as we go, we'll get better. Now, I've got several videos probably coming out today. I'm going to announce the winner of the Hinder giveaway this afternoon. We got a kayaking one coming out. We got several coming out, so bear with me. I love y'all. God knows I do. God bless y'all. I hope he does. That good looking hot dog right here, son. Old SCAB can build him a fire. Listen. Thank y'all so much for being with us on this journey. We're going to keep working. We're going to keep practicing to get better. Now, do me a favor. Go over and subscribe to Donnie B All-day. He's marching to 10,000. Hey, appreciate you, SCAB. He's marching to 10,000. Let's get him there. Go over and subscribe to Blade Talk with SCAB and Joe. Guys, we got a huge guest committed yesterday. My guy Joseph's working on scheduling that. We'll announce it on the next Blade Talk with SCAB and Joe. Remember, we've got Big Red EDC and Jared from Neves Knives coming. Hopefully, Miss Carol will be there too. But make sure you like, make sure you subscribe here. Guys, I love y'all. Mikey says it best. Everything's going to be all right. I'm SCAB. You're not. This is a little adventure. Hope you'll join us for the next one. I'm gone, son.